sure there's a lot of parents right here.
Yeah.
It's not like that's all the parents.
Right. Yeah. There's Jessica.
Maybe they have like words. You have to say stuff.
Maybe. No idea. Just gonna roll a bit.
All right. Hello, and welcome to Berthoud High School's graduation ceremony for the class of 2022. I am Gordon Boschman, your building principal. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your hats, and remain standing for the presentation of our national colors by the Berthoud High School Army JROTC. On this Memorial Day weekend, we would like to take a moment of silence to remember those 7 Berthoud High School graduates who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we may continue to live in freedom. The Berthoud High School Bridge Between Seniors will now perform the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting mid-air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Of the brave.
That's it? Yep. I haven't had it since freshman year. He's got like a code there.
Parents, families, honored guests, and graduates, you may be seated. Well, good morning. Today we are gathering to celebrate the graduates of the class of 2022. I would like to make a special thanks to Mr. Sean Heading and our Berthoud High School band for the playing of Pomp and Circumstance for our processional this morning. And another special thanks to our very own Berthoud High School Bridge Between Seniors for singing our national anthem. I would also like to acknowledge Michael DeWall, Karen Barrett, and Kristen Lutz, along with a host of Thompson School District personnel for their work in organizing the many details required to make today's ceremony a reality for graduates. Well, today marks a very special accomplishment for the class of 2022. This class completed the last quarter of their sophomore year and the first quarter of their junior year, doing their best to learn at home, fully remote, due to that pandemic. Well, then we organized students into two cohort groups for the second and third quarters of your junior year. And then for the fourth quarter of your junior year and all of your senior year, we were back fully in person. Of course, for safety reasons, we had all students wear masks right up until the last semester of their senior year. Well, class of 2022, we recognize and honor your relentless drive, strength of character, and a solid academic performance that has brought each one of you to this moment of celebration today. The efforts you have offered in your high school career is truly your foundation for future success. An absolutely amazing accomplishment of the class of 2022 is that collectively they have earned scholarships totaling in excess of $3.5 million. Again, congratulations to this resilient class of 2022. Well, now I'd like to offer you a short analogy comparing the game of golf to the realities of life. Well, to be very candid, I'm not a very good golfer. I really haven't spent enough time, energy, and money in the sport to have an official handicap. You know, the U.S. Golf Teachers Federation defines a handicap as a measure of one's current ability over an entire round of golf, signified by a number. The lower the number, the better a golfer is. Well, a handicap essentially signifies how many strokes above or below par a golfer should be able to play a round of golf. Well, I typically take an extra stroke or two on each hole compared to a golfer who pars each hole. So if I had an official handicap, it would be something like 25 or 30. Again, I'm not a very good golfer, but I really do like to golf. So why do I enjoy golfing even though I'm not good at it? Well, after some deep reflection, here are 3 reasons I like to golf. When I do go golfing, I choose to golf with people where I'm really enjoying each other's company. We laugh at the same jokes. It's a time and place where I don't feel I have to earn their friendship. We are okay just being ourselves. Another reason I like to golf is, and when I do golf, it's usually with people who are better golfers than I. There's always a chance my game will improve. And one of the coolest things about the game of golf is that even after a bad shot, and I have a tendency to slice the ball way off to the right, I still have the opportunity to recover and get back on track with my next shot. And even better, I get to start counting my golf strokes from 0 on the very next hole. So here's the connection between golf and the realities of life, which will come in the form of advice as you move into your young adult life beyond high school. First, choose to hang out with people who really enjoy spending time with you. Time spent with encouraging and positive people can truly balance out the times we have to interact with negative people. Secondly, choose to spend time with people who challenge you to be a better version of yourself. And third, there will be setbacks in your future. That's just how life is. But remember, look for opportunities to reset, restart, and recover. When bad shots happen, and they will, take time to line up your recovery shot, take a full practice swing, and keep moving forward. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our honored guests who have joined me on stage. Representing Berthoud High School are Mrs. Deja Ago, Assistant Principal, Mr. Michael DeWall, Assistant Principal and Athletic Director, and representing Thompson School District administrators this morning are Mr. Gordon Jones, Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Theo Robeson, Director of Secondary Schools. Representing the Thompson School District this morning, the Board of Education members, Nancy Rumfeld and Stu Boyd. Berthoud's member of the Board of Education, Stu Boyd, will be delivering brief remarks. Mr. Boyd knows Berthoud well. He grew up here, graduated from Berthoud High School, and returned after college to work, live, and raise his family here. He was a teacher and administrator at Berthoud High for 36 years, and following retirement, spent the next 14 years subbing at the high school and mentoring beginning teachers, many of whom are still here. Well, if you do the math, that's 50 years spent in educating Berthoud High School students. Now, I am pleased to invite our Board of Education member, Mr. Stu Boyd, to the podium.
Good morning, graduates, parents, grandparents, family members, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by sharing a greeting from Thompson School District Superintendent Dr. Mark Schaefer. Congratulations, Berthoud seniors. The Thompson School District is incredibly proud of you. As you embark on your future experiences beyond TSD, we are thrilled for your next steps, whether it be college, the workforce, the military, or whatever else you choose to do. As a community, we will continue to cheer you on, and we'll look forward to hearing great things about what you will most assuredly do and accomplish in the future. As was the case before the 2 years of pandemic graduations, Berthoud and Thompson Valley now graduate again at the same time. Berthoud here, Thompson Valley at the ranch. An early Saturday morning graduation on this field is a long and important tradition in the Berthoud community. The superintendent recognizes this tradition, and he will again alternate years being here. So right now, he's at the ranch with Thompson Valley seniors, and next year he'll be here for graduation, and somebody else will be standing in for him at the ranch, like I'm doing now. As Mr. Blashman mentioned, after working at BHS for many years, I retired and spent the next 14 years subbing here and mentoring beginning teachers. I stopped subbing when I was elected to the school board near the end of 2019, which means that I subbed in your classes when you were freshmen and at the beginning of your sophomore year. I remember many of you from that time. I also knew your older siblings. Looking at your last names, I know that during my teaching career here, I taught English and speech to many of your parents and aunts and uncles, and yes, even to some of your grandparents. In addition to remembering you from your early school years here, I've read about your accomplishments in the newspaper and attended your sporting events and concerts, your banquets and presentations, and worked with you in Knowledge Bowl. After having seen your senior slideshow at Baccalaureate on Sunday, I feel like I know you even better. I tell you all this because when Dr. Schaefer needed someone to stand in for him today, I was eager to do this. It's my honor indeed to be with you on this stage today. I started my remarks by congratulating you on behalf of the superintendent. Let me add my congratulations as well. You've achieved excellence in the classroom and in extracurricular activities, as well as on the court, the field, and the mat. You've won a boatload of scholarship dollars. Many of you held down a job during high school. Some of you have helped your family financially and in other ways, and have triumphed during difficult times personally. You've survived school in its many forms during COVID, which is certainly no small accomplishment. You, along with those who graduated in the 2 years preceding you, will be remembered for your resilience. You are all determined survivors, and that determination will carry you far beyond the halls of BHS. Congratulations on all of these things and many more that I didn't mention. And finally, this. Many years ago, a famous French forensic scientist named Edmond Locard came up with Locard's exchange principle, which says that whenever someone enters or exits an environment, like a room, something physical is added to that environment and something physical is removed from it. Modern technology now proves that this principle is scientifically accurate. A modern writer and philosopher has extended the principle to say, every person passing through this life will unknowingly take something away and leave something behind. Most of this something cannot be seen or heard or numbered. Graduates, from this place, you will take with you the love of your family and friends, the good wishes of the Berthoud High School staff and your school district, and the pride of the Berthoud community. But realize that you're leaving a part of yourself here as well. Wherever life takes you from this place, may you find peace and happiness, and may you leave the world a better place because of who you are and what you do. Members of the class of 2022, let the adventure begin.
Old suburbs, like off of Main. I like those.
That's where the bakery used to be.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd. I would now like to invite our class-selected speaker to the stage, Dr. Ted Fabiano. Dr. Fabiano is an esteemed English language arts teacher at Berthoud High School.
Are you signed up for this class next year?
Thank you, Mr. Boschman, and good morning, board members, administrators, parents, relatives, friends, and class of 2022. This has been just my second year at Berthoud High School. I feel lucky to be invited to speak today in a place where there is so much tradition. At Senior Awards Night, I witnessed a scholarship given in honor of a graduate from the Berthoud class of 1947. We've heard about the tradition of Mr. Boyd right here, who grew up here, graduated, taught here, and now as he sits here, he holds my job in his hands. And what a fantastic job you're doing, Mr. Boyd, I might add. Class of 2022, I can only speak to part of your education, but in 2 years, I've come to know many of you from class, tennis, Knowledge Bowl, journalism, your concerts, your sporting events, or last year's Zoom class. Of course, on Zoom, I rarely saw you. I usually saw an avatar of Baby Yoda or your ceiling. However it happened, you made an indelible impression on me, and I'm thrilled to be here on your final day and symbolic beginning. At the commencement ceremony, we celebrate how each of you are special and a part of something larger. When you hear your name called today, relish that moment. Permit yourself to be proud. At the same time, you are also equals. You wear the same gowns to symbolize your membership in this graduating class. As someone who has attended his 10th, 20th, 30th, and soon enough, 40th high school reunion, I can say that being a part of a class is special. Whatever separates you now will melt away over the years, and you will cherish this thing that you have in common. For today, though, it is time to commence, to start a new life, one that involves making decisions. What career should I pursue? Where do I want to live? What kind of relationships do I want? Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken, is a common source to symbolize this point in your life where you face big decisions. I've heard it more than once at graduation. 2 roads diverged. I took the one less traveled by, and that made all the difference. It's a fine poem and a fine sentiment, but I think we can all agree that the world before us beckons with many possibilities. I was amazed to hear someone put into words what we really face when we leave the predictability of life in school or sports while driving back from the state tennis tournament in Colorado Springs this month. The words came from a book called Range by David Epstein, an audiobook I was listening to. It's how I road trip. When it comes to making personal decisions, he said, we find that the world rarely follows the advice of poetry or the rules of sports like tennis. Much of facing the world is like playing tennis on Mars. You can see the players on a court with balls and rackets, but nobody shared the rules. It's up to you to find them, and they can often change without warning. How do you play Martian tennis? How do you prepare for the unknown? Historian Arnold Toynbee said, there's no such thing as a master key that will unlock all doors. Preparing for the future requires more than just the right choice of 2 options. Trying many things gives you a greater chance to understand how many options you really have and how they can apply to each other. I urge you to notice how many examples are sitting next to you, or maybe in your own seat. I've seen it. In a single day, you attended class, root for the baseball team at a home game, changed clothes, and attended NHS induction. You did an evening shift at Pizza Hut, completed a project, lifted weights, and then wrote a story for journalism. You did research, played in a tennis match, drove out of town to show livestock, and showed up at school the next morning. Trying many things will help your Martian tennis game. But what can you do when you have a specific question? The iSearch papers that many of you did this year demonstrated the difficulty, even with deep research, of making an important decision. You asked, what would it take to live in Sweden? Should I become a therapist? How can I stop the aging process? And how can I live in a van? Doing research, you gain valuable information from those who have answered those questions for themselves. You also realized that fully answering that question for you is based on a future, unknown part of your life. You are commencing a phase when more decisions will be based on your own rules and shifting priorities. Epstein writes in his book that the second step in adapting to Martian tennis is drawing on habits that give you the flexibility to handle unpredictable situations. In the coming days, I encourage you to reflect on how you nurtured these useful habits at Berthoud High School. You studied the effects of deforestation in Miss Morell's class, which allowed you to practice the habit of openness, considering the world from different perspectives. You learned how muscles interact with Miss Leachman, practicing metacognition by reflecting on the body you will be using your whole life. You practiced the habit of creativity with Mr. Kint's Constellation Project, combining art with science. And how many of you surprised yourself by succeeding on a Mr. Moore algebra test after weeks of homework, training the habit of persistence? From these experiences, from your teachers, from your parents, from your friends, you've had opportunities to develop those crucial habits that will serve you well. And don't forget what you had within you over these past 4 years to get here. You did whole classes on video screens. You didn't always know when and if it was okay to breathe the air. Living in the unpredictable is what you've been doing. So be confident and welcome the opportunity to make decisions. You are ready to be a Martian tennis player. Class of 22, I thank you for your kindness, your good work, and your contributions to the traditions of this school. I'll see you again at your 40th high school reunion. I did read the paper on stopping the aging process. Thank you, good luck, and God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Fabiano. I would now like to invite our valedictorian of the class of 2022 to the stage, Kaylee Marie Shanker. Kaylee is the daughter of Chris and Sandra Shanker.
Where are the stair helpers, you guys? Come on.
Good morning, graduates and staff, family and friends. My name is Kaylee Shanker. This ceremony is an event all of my fellow graduates and I have been waiting 12 years for. I'm honored to speak at it. Each and every one of these students gathered here today have accomplished the difficult task of graduating. All of us have sat through lessons and lectures, both in person and not, completing worksheets and essays, all with today in mind. While some graduates may remember more of our past classes than others, no one can deny that every student here today has put tremendous effort into reaching the milestone of graduating high school. 4 years ago, beginning high school as a starry-eyed freshman, I thought all the lessons I would learn in the classes throughout these years of my life would culminate to me knowing all the answers to the universe. Just a hint, I don't think it's 42. And while I've definitely gotten better at time management and studying because of my teachers and the BHS staff, never would I have thought the most important lesson I would learn would be outside the classroom in the last 2.5 months of my senior year. Let me set a scene for you. It is the beginning of March and spring sports are getting into full swing. I've been the goalkeeper of our women's soccer team since I was a freshman and experienced all the trials and tribulations that racked our sports during the height of the pandemic. The team had a large number of energetic freshmen joining this year, and I was thrilled to have the chance to share my knowledge and passion for the game with them. I then discovered that the unplanned and unexpected will hit you at what seems like the worst time. Shortly into our first game, mere 8 minutes into goalkeeping, I dove for a save and subsequently heard a loud pop in my knee, and my left leg gave out. The only thought that kept reappearing in my head as I was helped off the field was that I would be fine and I would be back on the field for our next game. Safe to say, after multiple medical appointments, the doctor told me that I tore my ACL. My last high school soccer season was over before it even began. Like so many of us, I'm a person who likes to be in control of my own future and have everything planned out. So this incident left me shell-shocked, to say the least. All of the negative thoughts you can imagine took hold of me at least once. I was a failure. I was a disappointment to my team. I thought that because I could no longer be on the field, I had nothing to contribute. For weeks after my injury, I let my feelings of uselessness override my previous positive mindset. I had difficulty connecting with my teammates, feeling out of place because I was sitting on the sidelines. Because of my fear of failure and idleness, I was forced to learn a lesson, one that can never be taught in a classroom, which was that you cannot let the mishaps and setbacks of life define you. However, it was through forcing myself to move on and keep making a difference that led me to this realization. I found other ways to contribute to my team, taking up a heavier role in teaching our new goalkeeper and using my vantage point on the sideline to give my teammates personalized advice. While it was unfortunate that I could not be on the field with my team, I made a unique difference on the sidelines as well. My injury did not define me, rather how I acted in spite of it did. So I ask all of you today, how will you react when life puts a speed bump in your path? Graduates, as we leave here today, we will each start our own new journeys in life, whether that be the workforce, military, college, trade school, or something else entirely. You will experience events that excite and surprise you, but also stress and burden you. Maybe you've been accepted into your dream college, only to find out that it's a bad fit. As you are starting the next stage of life, maybe you are uncertain what path to take. In your future, you cannot plan for every event and outcome, which I have learned quite brutally. What you can control, however, is how you react. If your college choice doesn't fit, apply to another the following semester. If you don't know what to make of your life yet, keep trying new paths until you find the right one. Whatever motivates you to push forward, take hold of it and never let go. Class of 2022, if there is anything you remember, let it be this. Whatever incredible, life-changing successes each and every one of you will go on to accomplish, know that the unexpected will cause you to fumble. You will have all of your plans thrown in your face and not know what to do, but that is okay. No matter how many roadblocks you trip on, get back up. Change your path. Walk on the side of the road if you need to, but don't let your failings define you. After all, it took one of the most well-known inventors, Thomas Edison, over 1,000 failures to finally create the light bulb. It took 1,000 failures to make a change in the world, and only one success. No matter where life takes you, don't let the inevitable obstacles of life discourage you from reaching the outstanding potential each and every one of you are capable of. Congratulations, everyone. You will do amazing things.
Athletic weights, creative writing. And then I tried to do one thing online, but that might not work out.
Thank you, Kaylee. We are now ready to present the senior class of 2022. These young, resilient men and women seated before you today have met the academic requirements of the state of Colorado and the high standards and expectations of the Thompson School District. By the authority given to me by the Thompson School Board, it is with great pleasure that I authorize the presentation of the graduating diplomas to the Berthoud High School's class of 2022. At this time, we would like to begin the presentation of diplomas to our class of 2022. Graduating seniors' names will be read by our salutatorian, Max Warren Goodrich, son of Matt and Marilee Goodrich. Because Max is our salutatorian, he will be the first senior to receive his diploma.
Did I say it? If I miss it, then sorry.
And the staff member who will present the diploma to Max is Mr. Scott Kinn. Let's get started. Max Warren Goodrich.
Thanks to everyone who could make it out.
Okay. I'd like to preface, if I mispronounce anybody's name, sucks to suck. So let's get this started. All right. Receiving diplomas from Karen Barrett. Margaret Bertha Langer. Okay, receiving diplomas from Jean Bonnet. Cody Weston Blau.
Thank you to my parents and my sister for always being there for me.
Nevaeh Rayleigh Lucero.
It's been kind of fun.
Receiving diplomas from Dean Book. Sarah Margaret Schumacher.
Thank you to God, my family, and my friends. I truly appreciate all of you.
Receiving diplomas from Gordon Boschman. Evan Paul Erickson.
Thanks to my family and my friends.
Daniel Manuel Lucero. Shyla Lynn Lucero. Annika Jeanette Pavetta. Zoe Maxine Shu. Coda Paul Sterling. Michael Lee Tatum. Molly Jane Van Valkenburg. Aaliyah Letitia Vidales. Receiving diplomas from Jana Klein. Donovan Ryan Esparza.
Thank you to all that have helped me to grow.
Ashley Eileen Garcia.
This is for my parents, who sacrificed everything to give me a better future.
Emma Nicole Ganger.
Thank you to my family and friends for everything they have done for me.
Leah Ray Coolstra. Receiving diplomas from Ashley Crumrine. J.C. Jordan Richards.
Thank you to all my family and friends.
Receiving diplomas from Deb Dillon. Paige Lee Anderson.
Thank you to everyone for helping me through rough times.
Maddox Robert Peterson.
Thank you to Debbie for always taking the time to talk.
Emma Marie Smith.
Don't have a good day. Have a great day.
Annabelle Marie Wiggins. Receiving diplomas from Crystal Domenico. Megan Elizabeth Beal.
Thanks for helping me through all my years at BHS and especially the STEM program.
Receiving diplomas from John Ellis. Alize Marie Miller.
Guess what, Mom and Dad? I did it.
Receiving diplomas from Tyler English. Jesse Tobias French.
Thank you to my family and friends for pushing me to do better.
Brendan Michael Hoffmeister. Matthew Stanley Pelfrey.
Never turn your back on family.
Josue Manuel Rodriguez.
I'd like to thank my mom, my teachers, my friends, my family, and everyone who helped me to get where I am now.
Wyatt Michael Spears. Dalton James Spitz. Receiving diplomas from Lee Espinoza. Liam William Brown.
My actions will always speak louder than my words ever will.
Receiving diplomas from Ted Fabiano. This next one's a long list, so get ready. Hannah Ray Abajian.
One foot in front of the other. Like it was yesterday, I can remember stepping into BHS for the first time. Now I'm stepping off the stage. I would like to thank my teachers that stuck with me, my friends who lifted me, and my whole family who guided me.
Cade Constantine Calkins.
Thank you to all my boys who helped me through this.
Thank you. Got a picture? Yeah, I got it. Let's go.
Adam Joseph Campbell.
Thank you for all the fun times in class.
Libby Rose Dakota.
We're on a pursuit of happiness, baby.
Hope Elise Von Bastine Frisbee.
My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever.
Sydney Joe Gerner.
This chapter in my life has come to an end. Now it is time to start my new journey.
Hudson Lee Grimditch.
Thank you to Google Translate.
Aaliyah Isabella Halverson.
Thank you to my parents, siblings, and Sochi for supporting me through this 12-year journey.
Eric Allen Hatanaka. Tyler Jason Holden. Anthony Robert Knobloch.
Thanks.
Kenna Jaylene Lorenzen.
Thank you, BHS, for all of the wonderful memories.
Kellen Michael Marks.
Shouts out my ma, shouts out my dad.
Connor Emerson Maxwell. Let's go. Jonas Matthew May. Jarek Joseph Mayhew. Alexander Frederick Paraselli.
Thanks to the boys, the days we spent together will be remembered.
Nathaniel Fox Pruitt. Joshua Anthony Rodriguez.
Awesome, cool, radical, epic, hang, 10, nice.
Bryant Mitchell Root. Grady Matthew Shelley.
Thanks.
Gavin Robert Sherman. Aspen Meadow Stallnacker. Receiving diplomas from Beth Fraley. Kylie Elizabeth Finnegan. Receiving diplomas from Josh Galindo. Tanner Michael Coble.
Thank you for helping me get through this stage.
Receiving diplomas from Sean Heading. Henry Michael Bridgman.
Thank you for not filing any noise complaints.
Noel Bunch. Sophie Xanamarie Green.
We are Groot.
Jenna Rachel Jenkins.
Good luck, have fun.
Skylar Ash Spirit.
Thank you to everyone who supported me this far.
Nevaeh Lynn Stanford.
Thank you to my family for all of their support.
Receiving diplomas from Jason Hooker. Grayson Kennedy Hired.
I would like to thank everyone that has supported me in getting here.
Blake Gordon Wysock.
Thank you for helping me through the past 4 years.
Receiving diplomas from Jordan Jennings. Josie Lee Diffendaffer. Olivia Susan Kruger. Caden Emmanuel Leo Midget. Ali Shea Padilla.
Thanks, Mother and Father, for always standing by my side.
Derek Eugene Reneker.
Thank you, friends, family, coaches, and Mr. Fabiano.
Jesse Scott Young. Receiving diplomas from J.J. Johnson. Richard Lee Koch.
I would like to thank my mom and dad.
Receiving diplomas from Scott Kint. I think we already saw this guy, but. Jackson Jeffrey Giles. Devin James Kaufman.
So long, Space Cowboy.
Caden Lee Sandvik.
Thank you to my family, teachers, coaches, and friends.
Receiving diplomas from Buddy Coons. Alexander Earl Premer. Receiving diplomas from Michelle Coons. Lawson McDonald Daw.
Thank you so much for your support and for helping me get here.
Alexandria Ann Mahoney. Receiving diplomas from D. Lindstrom. Kaylee Marie Shanker.
To my parents, brother, friends, and teachers, thank you.
Jared Robert York. Trenton James Young. Receiving diplomas from Keith Lobdell. Brendan David Gilliland. Holden Daniel James.
Shout out me, follow me on SoundCloud.
Martin Joseph Uhas. Isabel Ann Lakenzo. Tyler Jeanette Schnedeker.
Deuces.
Logan Charles Shepard. Receiving diplomas from Tracy Lowe. Daniel John Bruno. Receiving diplomas from Lindy Lum. Cassidy Faith Alverson.
Long live all the magic we made.
Hallie Taylor Cook. Andy Jean Davidson. Isaac Dylan Guzman.
I'll bring you all coffee one day, except Luke. He doesn't like coffee.
Ayla Jasmine Hermanson.
Thank you to my family, friends, and energy drinks.
Allison Marie Hawker.
Thank you to all the goats.
Sydney K. Hawker.
Thank you to my family, friends, coaches, and teachers that could tell my sister and I apart.
Mary Elizabeth Morgan.
Thanks, Phil and Ray.
Anna Sophia Schlegel. Receiving diplomas from Marcus Mathieson. Jaden Daniel Hedelius.
Thank you for making me a better person.
Receiving diplomas from Paul Menahan. Travis David Pope. Receiving diplomas from Mary Hawker. Ashton Joel Skaggs.
Thank you to my family, friends, girlfriend, and the Steelers.
Receiving diplomas from David Moore. Brock Thomas Anderson.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Madeline Marie Baker. Taylor Andrea Parsons. Jonah Thomas Wyan. Receiving diplomas from Brianna Morel. Madeline Grace Dodd. Isabel Estella Eads. Lillian Catherine Goodemout. Zaya Isabella Hawk. Jade Summer Hobart. Receiving diplomas from Vince Mosley. Paige Sharon Bauer.
Promise me that you would hang on to hope.
Oh my god! I messed it up. Thank you.
Chloe Marie Court.
And she'll leave you with a smile, George Strait.
Receiving diplomas from Julie Noss. Alejandro Isel Ashan Cruz. Aiden Douglas Daling. Brandon David Daling. Cameron Dan Daling.
Thanks, Miss Anna, for helping me with my Spanish.
Receiving diplomas from Jennifer Quick. Kyle Anthony Sethry. Receiving diplomas from Jerome Ruddy. Alexis Eliana Krieger.
May the forces of evil become confused on the way to your house.
Cade Robert Miller. Sochi Nieto Leon.
Thank you to my parents, siblings, and Aaliyah for supporting me through this 12-year journey.
Chase Cassidy Weiss. Jeremy Clinton Wilson. Receiving diplomas from Andrea Rajkovic. Marion Kathleen Kasperbauer.
Thank you to my family, friends, teachers, and coaches for everything.
You did it. Good job.
Catherine Grace Rafferty. Nolan Robert Lee Young.
Thanks.
Receiving diplomas from Mill Santos. Samara J. Neal Santos. Receiving diplomas from Nita Starr. Sydney Shane Premer. Receiving diplomas from Caitlin Stone Alberts. Easton Ty Crompton.
I did it, y'all. Thank you to everyone who believed in me.
Damian Allen Johnson.
In case I don't see you, good evening, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Receiving diplomas from Jesse Stray. Zachary Michael Vixie.
Thank you to everyone who has stayed around and cared.
Receiving diplomas from Hayden Sweet. Ethan Eugene Hill.
Thank you, Mom and Dad and the boys.
Kiara Nicole Martinez.
Hey, Mom and Dad, I made it.
Alexander Jordan Moonen. Nice. Miranda Marie Roth.
We are what our thoughts have made us.
Receiving diplomas from Corey Tickner. Jackson Blaine Corbett.
Thank you, Papa, for helping me make it this far.
Garrett Miles Glasser.
Thanks to everyone who helped me make it through high school.
Jesse Lee White.
Thank you to all my coaches, friends, and parents for everything.
Receiving diplomas from Blaine Voth. Sivian Tristan Doan. Adelina Mar Kirkpatrick. Quentin Allen Lowe.
I would like to thank Google, Quizlet, and SparkNotes.
Sierra Dawn Perky. Garrett Scott Perman.
I wish I knew I was living in the good old days.
Bailey Danielle Short. And receiving diplomas from Sharon Winter. Ryan Patrick Morgan.
I would like to thank everyone who helped me reach my goal.
Caleb Brady Wittenberg.
Love you all. I'll miss everyone.
I'm not sure what I do now, but.
You go shake everybody's hand.
Oh, sweet.
Well, thank you so much, Max. Well, before we complete the turning of the tassels, which will end our ceremony today, I would like to offer some important directions to our graduates. After a brief celebration with family and friends, we ask that the graduates proceed directly to the small gymnasium to collect your official diploma. And now, may I please have Maggie Langer, the senior class president, to close the ceremony with the turning of the tassels.
Everybody please stand up and join me as we turn our tassels from right to left. I now introduce you the newly graduated class of 2022. Congratulations, we did it!
All right, congratulations, Berthoud High School's class of 2022. We wish you each the best of luck and a safe and prosperous future. Thank you.